Now back to the #1 truth fighter in Boston, the Warren Ballentine Show, only on NewsTalk, 1090 AM, WILD Boston, where information is power.
Imagine being able to go down to the police department and the police officer in charge is not looking at you like you're a criminal just because you walked in the door. Imagine being in front of a judge who understands that, you know what, sometimes it ain't just about the law, it's about common sense. So we have to start thinking in a bigger and a broader term as far as targeting. I told you this, guys, last year. 2 words we got to keep in the forefront of our discussion all the time. Targeting and leverage. If you can target, you have leverage. And when you have leverage, you got control of the situation. You got a negotiation point. If you have no leverage, then guess what? It's nothing to negotiate. It's going to be their way and you deal with it or nothing at all. But if you have leverage, right, then at that point, they got to listen to what you got to say. And if you're targeting, then they really become afraid because they're afraid that you may target them. Let's go to Edward, line 2 in Greenville, North Carolina, Sirius XM. What's up, Edward?
Got several things to throw at you real quick and move on, and I'll hang up and let you elaborate on it. Of course, I'm the one that asked you to replay that interview with the Grand Dragon, and I heard that a little bit a little while ago. But if you ever replay more of it, if you could give us True Fighters a day or a couple of days' notice, so that those of us who are listening can tell others to listen, on whatever day you announce it. And see, because I think that with all of the negative events going on, as you were alluding to just now, against us lately, I think much of it is spawned by people in high places, and many of those high officials are also in white supremacist groups, which in a roundabout way is what the Grand Dragon told you. And a former Greenville City Councilwoman said at the city council meeting a few years back, she said the other side have their meetings before the meetings, after the meetings, and in between the meetings. And Warren, we need to do the same thing. I told you, phone screener, that I'm thankful for leaders like yourself and Reverend Sharpton, because you guys have repeatedly proven that you're not scared. And, and I look at it, Warren, and I'm like, where would we, as our people, where would we be this day and time if it was not for people like you guys, And lastly, my best friend in Raleigh, North Carolina, her name is Kathy. She told me about you some years ago, and she caused me to get my XM, and because she kept telling me about you and Reverend Sharpton, and I've been so pleased. And she had an idea. She's listening right now, but it's inconvenient for her to call in sometimes. But she's listening, and she had an idea. She wanted me to ask you, what about having the Truth Fighter, have your website set up that the Truth Fighters can go to like archives of your show and pull it up for ourselves? That's
we are going to do that. We are going to do that, and hopefully the site will launch Friday. If it doesn't launch Friday, it's going to launch Monday. But we are going to have that set up where you guys will be able to go in there and pull the older shows up and be able to pull them and listen to them and be able to hear them when you want to hear them.
All right, and then I'm going to hang up, Warren. You can give Kathy a shout-out.
Kathy, big love to you, Kathy, for turning them on. Because the brother's a good brother, man, and thank you, brother. I love for you, man. Thank you so much.
Love you too now.
All right. This is the thing, all right? He said something it's a couple of things about me that a lot of you, I hope you know, but some of you may not know. When the brother says to me, where would we be without you and Reverend Sharpton? I feel uneasy with that. And let me tell you why I feel uneasy with that. Because this isn't about me. It's about we. It's about us. Where would we be if Reverend Sharpton and I wasn't here? We'd be listening to somebody else to help them try to help us get better. That's what we would be doing. We cannot get into this mindset of it's just one person or it's two people. We got to get into this mindset that it's all of us. Everybody is a leader. Everybody is a follower. Because, see, in order to be a good leader, you got to be a good soldier first. You can't be the general without being a soldier first. So everybody is working together to make things better for everybody as a whole. I always, when people come up to me, I had a older gentleman come up to me. I was speaking at an event. He just came up. He said, I just want to touch your hem. And I was like, oh, brother, God bless you. I love you. But please don't think of me like that. Because that's not what I'm trying to be. All I'm trying to do is use what God has given me to try to help everybody else out. That's all I'm trying to do. Not trying to not trying to get rich, not trying to be nobody's savior. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get people to understand that, you know what? It's some even just on my on Facebook and Twitter. It's a young group of people on my Facebook and Twitter who are brilliant. They come up, they have arguments, they have the research, and one of them today's birthday, my Rice, out of Dallas. And I just look at them and be like, these are leaders right here. They may not be on the national radio or they may not be in front of a television, but these are true leaders. And it's a bunch of them out there, man. So we got to recognize them and work all together to build this up for everybody. And the reason why I get uneasy with it, because if you just got one or two, if they take out the one or two, then everything falls. If you don't believe me, look at what happened when Dr. King left. Now, no disrespect to Reverend Jackson and the rest of those guys, but what the hell did they do after King? We worse off today than we were during the civil rights movement. And I'm sorry, I just don't believe that Malcolm or Martin or any of the other ones who was fighting would have allowed that to be if they would have grown and saw what was going on in this country. But again, it's hard to fight when you for sale. And I guess that's the bottom line. Money. Money will stop folks, or the government will. One of the two.
NewsTalk 1090 AM, WILD, Boston, where information is power.
Everybody on Ustream, everybody on Facebook, everybody on Twitter. Let me say this about the young boy out of Houston. And normally I wouldn't even address this the way I'm going to address it, but sometimes when you have somebody who is so misinformed in their argument, you have to kind of push them into the right direction. Excuse me. It's a brother on Ustream who's saying people are more mad about the police involved in this situation than the thug that committed the crime. Let me explain something to you. People are upset not because of the police, but because of the actions of the police. It doesn't matter if somebody commits a crime. They're human. Are they supposed to be treated like dogs because they committed a crime? Are they supposed to be treated less? Are they supposed to be treated as they're the scum of the earth and they can be beat and broken because they literally committed a crime? Did you not see the video? This young man was laying on the ground, was not fighting back, and was getting beat and stumped for no reason. If he had committed a crime and he had pulled out a gun or he was fighting the officers, that's a whole different argument then. At that point, you're right. Because honestly, we should be more mad about the thugs in our community than the cops in our community. But when you see cops beating somebody on the ground who's not resisting arrest, who's not fighting back, it's no justification for that. Now, I will say this, though. I have a huge problem when I hear anybody blame somebody else because of race or because of anything else. Because my first question all the time is, do you have the same outrage when you see Pookie and them shooting each other up on the block? Because if you got the same outrage for that, then I can respect you getting mad when a white person does something wrong. Because see, don't tell me it's okay for black people to call themselves the N-words and it's okay for black people to shoot each other. And then when other people do it, you want to go march. No. That's hypocritical. If you got this standard of literally being able to stand up when you see injustice, whether it's black on black, white on Hispanic, Arabic on Palestinian, whatever the injustice may be, then you got a right to get mad when you see something wrong. But we have to understand, just because somebody commits a crime, just because you do something wrong, it doesn't make you less human. You still have rights. Nobody deserves to get beaten down, stomped on, kicked in the head. That's the thing that people are upset about. There's some good cops out here. There's some really good people in law enforcement. It's good people in the courtroom, on the benches, but it's also bad people. And it's people who want to take people down. It's people who want to lock people up. It's people who, they've been doing their job so long that they become desensitized. They don't even know how to be human anymore because they're so worried about, I got to get the conviction. I got to get this. I got to get this. And we have to understand that it's a difference, but you still have to remember people are human. Let's get CM Ryder in here from Charlotte, WGIV Line 1. What's up, CM?
Hey, Warren, how are you?
Good. I saw what you posted on Twitter. You were heartbroken and everything. I saw it.
I'm angry. I'm angry, and, I've called him before. I'm an attorney, too, and I always tell people that, you should avoid being a part of the legal system at all costs unless it's the last thing that you have to do. And I tell that to my clients, too, and I want people to read Sun Tzu, the artist, where you need to know your opponent better than he knows himself. And that's why I became an attorney. I became an attorney to help people, and to help people, I needed to know the system.
Yep, that's me, too.
And I say this, and I'm very passionate about it because the child is 13 years old. If Lindsay Lohan can steal somebody's fur coat out of a club or some jewelry from a jewelry store and not get beat down like a dog in the street, are you telling me that a 13-year-old deserves to be treated less than her because either one, she has money, two, she's famous, or three, she's white, and four, she's a woman?
Well, the whole problem with this situation again is this, and I always tell people, it's if you go back and you look at the Rodney King tape, Rodney King, see, they only showed the part with him getting beat down. He was fighting the cops at first. Exactly. He literally was fighting the cops, and that's why the cops did what they did to him. This little boy literally, soon as the cops pulled up, jumped on the ground, put his hands behind his back, did not resist, did not swing, did not do nothing, and they stomped him like he had been fighting 10 grown men.
And for somebody, I didn't see the Ustream, the guy on Ustream, but for someone, this is a child. And it pissed me off because we have devalued ourselves so much that we let anybody else devalue us too and treat us like stuff on the bottom of their shoe. It's not right. And I don't know a man who is worth being called a man on this earth who can say that we care more about the thugs. Which one was the thug? Was the thug the little boy laying on the ground with his hands behind his head?
Or was it the police officer?
The police.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And I thank you for the call. I'm almost out of time for the show. I want to get one more call in here before we go. He's been holding. Let's get Tony in here from Boston. Welcome to the show, Tony.
Appreciate your voice, and I just want to say what you're doing is on the right track. It is the roadmap because you're talking about wealth building, and wealth, not having money, wealth is the key. Bequeathing wealth is even more important. I appreciate everything you do, and more importantly, everyone should remember this. Politics is a byproduct of economics. You have no political power if you have no collective economic power.
Right. Hey, brother, thank you. That's a perfect way to end the show. Thank you for the call. That's the perfect way to end the show. And this is what I keep trying to explain to you guys. Look, we have to get debt-free. We have to create generational wealth. We all gonna die. Everybody alive will die one day. Some of us sooner than others. Get that life insurance. We got to be entrepreneurs. Look, keep your job you got right now, but let's find another stream of income for you. And then once we get out of debt, well, we get leveraging position with credit, and we got generational wealth set up, and we got extra money coming in. Now we got to put somebody in these positions of authority that's going to be truth fighters. I mean, that's the whole honest to God truth. We have to put people in these spots of authority that's going to be truth fighters. Look, if you don't do nothing else, tell somebody you love them and appreciate them. You may not get that chance tomorrow. That's why I tell you every day, I love you with the love of Jesus. You may not believe in Jesus Christ, but it's the greatest love I know. Blue Fire, go mob to my blue and white family out there. To all the truth fighters, thank you for being truth fighters. I truly love you all. You all are so wonderful. I thank you so much. Tell your friends and family members about the show. God willing, same Truth Fighter time, same Truth Fighter channels tomorrow, right here on the Warren Ballentine Show. Blue Fire.
WILD. Where information is power. The Reverend Sharpton and the National Action Network proudly presents the annual National Action Network Conference starting Wednesday, April 6th to Saturday, April 9th in New York City. Last year, 2010, was the first annual Measuring the Movement, and the NAN chapters across the country will follow up 1 year later on the proactive measures for better employment, business creations, and better improvement in education. For more information, call 1-877-626-4651, 1-877-626-4651. 1090 WILD. Where information is power. Here's what you missed on Keeping It Real with the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Dr. Ogletree and Mr. and Mrs. Parks, that always bothers me in these cases. The police couldn't see his wallet. What did that have to do with why they shot? I mean, and the police didn't know his alcohol level. What did that have to do with why they shot? Exactly. They did the same thing in Amadou Diallo and the same thing in Sean Bell. They always act like, well, the victim might have had something to drink. Well, you didn't shoot them because of that. What was the only reason the police has a right to shoot is if their life is threatened. Let's go to Miss Richardson and Chevy Chase. Miss Richardson.
Yes, how are you? You know, Reverend, I'm at the age. I have seen it all, and if we don't stop playing games with each other, with a lot of time black people will do that to each other. We harm ourselves. If we cannot understand what this system is doing and what the powers to be is doing.
6 full hours of Black News Talk. Warren Ballentine at 10. Al Sharpton at 1. News Talk 1090 WILDAM. It's the best. Information is power.